Yo, what's up my hungry little Huguenotsu? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and apparently that is a crossbreed between a Pomelo and a Yuzu. Regardless, today on the Daily Grind, we're going to be taking a look at two more Kuva weapons, this time around the Kuva Drakgoon, as well as the Kuva Kraken. Now, this is the part where I would go ahead and pull up my Kuva Lich screen, however, I forgot to go get one, so just be aware that Kuva weapons come from Kuva Liches. I've got a guide that I'll leave up in the top corner, as well as link down in the description box below, just in case you need to know how to get your hands on it. Alright, so let's go ahead and kick things off with the Kuva Drakgoon. As you can see, this is a flat cannon that sends volleys of intensely hot shrapnel ricocheting around the room that do not slow down. Larger magazine capacity and reload speed can be fired in wide or concentrated bursts. Now, when we take a look at the stats, the number one thing we notice is the base damage has actually gone down. It's there in big red numbers. It's gone from 700 down to 460. However, its supplemental stats has made this thing way more usable and far more effective, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. So as you can see, the charge rate has dropped down to 0.3 instead of 0.5. Its critical chance has jumped up to 21% from only 7.5. It's got a critical multiplier of 2.5 times, which is a nice little jump there. It's also got an increased magazine from 7 to 11. Its reload has gone down to 2, and its status chance has actually jumped all the way up to 30. And let me tell you right now, I'm still not a big fan of the Drakgoon, it's just me, but you can see this thing is just way more effective. And it's one of those ones that kind of shocked me because I was using a different type of build. Wait, what happened? What is currently going on? And now we're back. I have no clue exactly what happened for those few minutes, but apparently everything is fixed now. So let's go ahead and start up with a little bit of a Billy. But like I was saying, I was kind of shocked at how effective this thing is, because I was originally using a viral build, right? And after like swapping over to a corrosive build, I was like, wow, that was like 3 shots, and that was pretty effing good. Let's do that one more time, and then we'll go ahead and go over the build. Then we'll talk a little bit of a viral swap out. It's weird because I thought that, you know, it would be much more powerful with the viral version because of the fact that this thing has such a large amount of slash on it. But I'm almost curious now, like, oh, how it would run if I had more. I guess you can't really run it with base fire because you need all 3 elements in there in order to get it to 100%. And as you guys know, the Drakgoon is a shotgun, so you do want to make sure that you hit that 100% mark before, before multi-shot, so that you can ensure that all of your pellets are proccing status. So as you can see right here, we've just gone in with full status, and we've splashed a little bit of crit in there. Now we're gonna go ahead and swap this out because, like I was saying earlier, I tried this with viral, and for some reason it wasn't working as well. Who knows? That could have just been a fluke. Maybe it'll change now. But now we've swapped over to viral and radiation. So let's go ahead and see how this thing works in comparison. Is it? No, you know what? It's still good. You just gotta really. No, I guess it's good either way. So I'm gonna say we'll stick to the viral and radiation. I don't know why it felt like it was not working as good earlier, but now it feels like it's on par, if not slightly better. You just gotta wait for those slash procs to go off. I could just wait for them to go off, and then boom, we're sitting at 2. The other one took 3. I would say they're comparable because the other one you could, you know, like if I really wanted to, I could have probably waited to make it down to 2 shots too. But I think that either way you want to rock this is fine. You just got to make sure you get those slash procs in, as you can see. See, now look what I'm talking about. Like, it just, that's why I have to do multiple tests on these, because you never know. It might look good 1 second. Like, those first 2 ones made it look really, really good. And then for consistency purposes, like, it wasn't looking, see, now it's just looking kind of like the corrosive one, really. Like, yeah, either way you want to go, I think that they're both fine. Moving along, we have the Kuva Kraken. Now, I do have something to say. Both of these came from female Kuva liches, and I'm really disappointed, mainly because of the fact that it seems like all of the female Kuva liches have like one like voice line track, and same thing goes for all of the male Kuva liches. Some of them, depending on the personality type or some of their quirks, will have different voice lines, but they all seem to have very similar personalities. Like the male ones seem to be a bit more funny, and then the female ones seem to be really like uptight, and I don't know. A part of me is like, yo, we need like a funny female Kuva lich. I would totally be into that. Now, moving on to the Kuva Kraken, a custom variant that fires 3 quick shots with a single pull of the trigger, or can alt-fire burst the remainder of its magazine. Higher fire rate, magazine capacity, and reload speed. Now, the original Kraken only fires off 2 bullets per shot, so keep that in mind. And usually, that's all about the conversation of ammo economy, because the Kuva Kraken, ooh, it consumes ammo like nobody's business. But as you can see, this has a similar story to the Kuva Drakgoon. The base damage has actually gone down from 49 per bullet down to 43.1. But its supplemental stats are just so much better that it like makes up for it in its effectiveness. As you can see, the critical chance has gone up to 21% from 5%. 5%. Its critical multiplier again has jumped up from 2.0 times to 2.3 times, and its fire rate has also jumped from 6.77 from 4.42. Now this also affects the fire of the burst because it actually quickens. The reload speed has dropped from 2.5. 2.5 is a long fucking reload speed, but it's dropped down to 1.5, which is amazing because it makes it so much more usable. And the status chance is 29% from 13. So all in all, it's a nice upgrade. However, the one thing that I will say about this is, wow, this baby eats a lot of ammo. This eats a whole lot of ammo, and it's kind of insane, but I will say it is pretty gosh darn effective. So, what are the things that... Oh, and the original Kraken doesn't have the unloading mechanic. Now, one thing I love about this is how accurate this is, and you'll actually get to play around with a couple different builds on this. As you can see, it just feels like it's eating up that ammo, but it is shredding the armor pretty quick. It's definitely not my favorite of the bunch, and to be honest with you, if we're averaging out the ammo consumption on this, I will say that that was actually one of the worst runs that it's had. It usually stays within the first... What do you call this? It usually stays within the, like, a little bit after, that's more average. So we've still got like 189 and a couple left in the clip. The other one dropped down into the 60s. So, like I said, I've been playing with these a lot and kind of like averaging out their performance to see like where it really fits. But as you can see, basically, you can strip off the armor pretty quickly and then get in a couple more shots and it's done. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at its alt fire, which I'm going to be completely honest with you, I feel is totally unusable because this thing has so much of like a kick. It's kind of nuts. I'm going to start at crotch level. Do you see how far up you go? Now, I mean, I guess it's really good if you... I don't know, is it... No, I don't think it's really good, period. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, maybe if you've just got like a couple left, like maybe if we kind of toss in a couple shots. Let's try that. Let's go ahead and toss in a couple bursts ahead of time and then empty a clip and see if it feels any better. So I'm going to do that and then I'm going to go... It feels a little bit okay there, but really, I really would not use it. I really would not use it. I don't feel like there's any rhyme or reason to do so. It just feels like way too out of control as to the rest of its burst. But let's go ahead and take a look at the build real quick. Now, one of the things that I will say about this weapon is if you so choose to use one of your weapon Exilis not mods, like Forma, that would actually be pretty damn cool to put on like an ammo mutation, or you could even maybe try to go for a recoil reducer so that you could empty a clip without necessarily jumping all over the place. But as you can see here, we're using some crit mods, we're using some status mods. You can drop Augur Pact and use something along the lines of I want to call it hyaluronic acid, but no, it's hydraulic crosshairs. You can go ahead and use that to really pump up some of the critical damage on it. In fact, we'll go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Or even toss on a third element. You can actually go for a little bit of fire on this too, and I feel like it's just as effective. But as you can see, it's because this thing's got a really good accuracy. It's got like bow accuracy, like 16% is pretty much there. But as you can see, it performs very similarly to when you have Augur packed on. So for me, I'm just kind of like, really, what's the point? Like, not like what's the point, but like, you know, you need to be aimed down sights to make sure you get the benefits from it. And like, am I always 100% of the time going to remember to do that? No. So I might as well have the thing that ends up boosting its base. And we can go ahead and toss fire on there as well to give it. And you know what? Here's the thing. In the future, if I get a fire variant of it, I might actually try it out and see how it feels, because with fire having its damage stack now whenever it procs, I'm kind of like, oh, this might not be like too bad an idea if we really push that fire, right? But again, if you take a look at the ammo consumption on that, it's basically the same as Augur pack, and really I can't be fucked, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, I can, but not by this weapon. I'm personally gonna stick to my Kuva Brak, like it's probably my favorite of this run. Actually, that was pretty good right there. It looked like we had some good, stacks up for that fire. So, you know, maybe if we end up getting a fire variant, I might try to transfer it over and see if it performs any better, because then we could put the fire one on there and it would prioritize fire a little bit more. Again, I think it just comes down to luck and how well, yeah, it's about the same. It's about the same. So all in all, for me, I think the Kuva Kraken is alright. I think it would be good with like one of the weapon Excella slots in there to kind of just help like finish it off, basically, because it needs a little ammo mutation maybe to kind of like make it more usable. There were certain runs where I found that I was actually running out of ammo with it because I was just running with it alone just to try to like level it up. So me personally, that is a bit of an issue. Regardless, if you've been using these weapons, let me know how you feel about the Kuva Drakgoon and the Kuva Kraken. Also, what weapons are you looking forward to? Because I know that this is a bit RNG based as to how you can get your hands on these Kuva weapons. I'm still crossing my hands for Karak and one of the new weapons because I haven't gotten to play around with them at all. But somehow, Miss Rebecca Ford only killed 3 Kuva Liches and she's got all 3 new weapons. I'm looking at you, hacker. Hashtag rigged. Regardless, if you made it this far in the video, can we go ahead and get a rip cur down in the comments below? I am not gonna listen. I'm not leaving the boy. I remember him in my heart and soul. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and Rebecca's definitely a hacker. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.